What is poppin', fight fans, and welcome to another episode of the Mystic Hour Live. I'm your host, Darnell Giovanni, aka Mystic Black. And if you know me, I have the honor and privilege of bringing on one of my personal favorite fighter of all time. I'll say it right here. I know I don't give the opinion like that all the time, but he is, to me, one of the GOATs. He's a former UFC lightweight champion. He's the number 7 ranked bantamweight right now in the UFC. He sets a record with Nate Diaz for 8 fight of the night bonuses. You know him. I got a question. I got the answer on here. Frankie, the answer Edgar in the house. What's up, Frankie?
What's going on, man? Thanks for having me, Darnell.
Absolutely, Frankie. And how you been doing, man? We haven't seen you in a while since the fight back in February. Have you been recovering any injuries, maybe some surgeries in that time?
Yeah, just getting healthy. Back to training now. Hopefully looking to fight before the year's out. So just back in the grind.
Absolutely. And did you get a chance to catch UFC 264 this past Saturday?
Of course I did. Of course I did. Yeah, definitely.
Well,
Some interesting storylines, man, this weekend. That's for sure.
do you think we got a definitive answer in the Connor Dustin series?
I mean, for me, it was pretty much the beginning of the end of that fight.
Yeah.
Connor was well on his way to getting, an ass whooping. It looked like to me, and obviously, unfortunate the way that the way it all played out, but that's the way this game goes. I mean, I'm unfortunately been seeing this happen more and more as of late. It seems like, but yeah, I would be surprised if they do it again.
Yeah. And would you even want to watch a part 4 of that? Because, that fight was kind of leaning towards Dustin's way.
I mean, yeah, I definitely who wouldn't watch it. I'm sure a lot of people still watch that fight, but I think you still see it. I would imagine you'll still see the same outcome.
Absolutely, Frankie. And you've been watching these bantamweights fight the past couple months, from Cody and Rob Font to Sean O'Malley fighting, opening that card. Is there anybody you've been looking to? Maybe I want to fight that guy when I come back.
Now, I don't know. I know a lot of people are tied up right now. I know O'Malley just fought. Look, he won. Pretty dominant fight. He could be definitely a matchup I could see happening. Maybe before this year's out. So a lot of people I think have fights coming up. So if he's free, I'm free. Makes sense to me.
All right, love that. Would love to see that matchup, of course. And we have Jose Aldo. He's in your division again. I feel like you guys just somehow always end up matching up. Is that a fight you'd want to fight again? And do you feel you'd be in a better position, since 135 is, probably your better weight class, because you were always a smaller guy fighting in those bigger weight classes?
Yeah, I would definitely, who would not want another crack at it? Why not? We've done it twice, and I believe my first fight was very close. Second fight, I felt like I didn't have my best performance. So, of course, I'd love another shot at that maybe in the future. But I believe he's matched up with someone right now. But, yeah, it could happen. And I do. I think I match up well with him. I think, I keep improving and throughout my time, in UFC. And that's I think I'll be able to show that in their fight.
And in terms of Cody Garbrandt, which he trains with Mark Henry, who's one of your coaches, has that ever caused any, issues? Because, you guys are in the same weight class.
Yeah, nah, man. I'm no need to fight Cody. From what I understand, he may be going down to 25 soon. So, yeah, I'll be able to steer clear from Cody. That's for sure.
Yeah, and you've been a person that you've pretty much stuck with a lot of the same guys within your career of coaching. Do you think maybe that caused Cody an issue training an alpha male, training with different people? Maybe the cross training probably became an issue.
I don't know. Everyone's different. Everyone has a different approach, and it depends what works for you. I like to be at home and close to my family, so I kind of was the way I pursued to go about it. And other guys, sometimes they come in, train, then they go home, and train in different places. You get the best of both worlds. It depends the type of person you are.
Yeah, and after your last fight, you did your podcast, of course, with Roger, and you did a couple interviews after that. And you seemed a little bit bothered. They kept asking you those questions. Oh, do you want to keep doing it? Do you want to retire? Do you feel differently about that now, and kind of a little bit more calm about the decision you made to continue to fight?
Yeah, no, I stand by my decision to continue to compete. So, yeah, I'm, you know, you got to have those talks, I guess. To come up with these, see where you're at. And those are the situations that you're going to see. You late in your career, you have these talks. It's kind of like the topic that everyone has to bring up, and I'm cool where I'm at now.
Absolutely. And Frankie, just want to go back in your career a little bit, and we just saw a trilogy there. You yourself have been in a trilogy. Do you, looking back on that now, do you think you and Gray should have fought maybe one more time, since it was he won the first one, then a draw, then you convincingly won the third one, of course. Do you think you guys should have fought one more time just so you can have that 2-1 over him?
No, I mean, to me, the KO was the finality of it all. As long as I got, I'm pretty cool with the. I'll give up a decision for a KO.
And was that your favorite victory, you would say, of your career?
Winning the belt is always a memorable one, but yeah, that one was pretty sweet. So I mean, they're all good, man. Any W is a good one, that's for sure. Those nights are always the best. Smile on your face, even if you're a little banged up. That smile is always worth it.
Yeah, and you beat BJ Penn for that lightweight title, and you were the underdog in that fight. If you go back in that time period, what was the most important thought you had to put in your mind just to, you know what, I can beat BJ Penn. I know they say he's unstoppable, but what did you have to constantly think about to make sure you got over that leap?
I think that's it. Just believe it. It's tough fighting a guy, especially that time. BJ had a aura about him. Licking the blood off his gloves and every kind of run through every was in front of. So convince yourself to know that you're that you could win, and you got night yourself. This is your time, and it all worked out. Victor.
And Frankie, if you can go back in time, do you think you would start maybe at a lower weight class if you had the opportunity? Like, let's say they had 135 pounds, 145 pounds in the UFC at that time. Would you want to start there, or are you okay with doing 155?
I mean, I love the way my career went. I can't really complain on, going through the different weight classes. I got to fight the who's who in 3 different weight classes over a couple of different generations as well. So, it's a unique position. A lot of guys, if anything, they go up in their weight classes later in their career. I'm kind of going down. So, I wouldn't change anything. But again, if I didn't know better, and I started today and there's a 35-pound weight class, I most likely would end up at that 35-pound weight class.
Absolutely. And 155 pounds, when you were fighting that division, you fought a lot of bigger guys, and they always talk about GOAT conversations. Do you feel that your name needs to be brought up more, because you did something that a lot of people probably couldn't do at a weight class like that? Every time you went into that octagon, the guy was probably 20 pounds heavier than you, and you still defeated him.
Yeah, I'm definitely proud. Like I said, I'm proud of doing that stuff. Being a smaller guy, giving up, lots of weight, and to me, that's how mixed martial arts was created. Royce Gracie went in there, this little guy beating all these big dudes, and I kind of, it's not quite as big of a difference as Royce and those guys, but the skills is a lot more equal now. So size does matter, and to be able to use my technique to beat these big guys is definitely something cool. All that go talk that's for you guys and fans and stuff. Just to get mentioned among some of these other guys is awesome to me.
Absolutely. And I saw you the other day doing some striking with your son, Santino and Frankie. Do they want to hopefully maybe one day get in the octagon, or just wrestling for now, or they're just mixing it up?
Yeah, we'll see. My one guy, Santino, he wrestles pretty heavy, and he loves hitting the pads and all that stuff. So right now we'll just keep it wrestling. We'll see where he takes it from there.
Absolutely. And your podcast with Roger, how did you guys come up to start doing that?
Yeah, well, I've known Roger for a long time. Way back. He's a Tom's River transplant from Maine. We started hanging out probably back in like 2007. Then then he became a little famous with the whole Jersey Shore thing. Being married to JWoww for a few years, and I just hit him up one day, said, "Hey, let's you ever think about doing a podcast?" And one thing led to another, and we started the Champ and the Shrimp, and been kind of pretty consistent with it, having fun with it. Just kicking it in the basement.
I love that podcast. It's really good. Of course, you guys check that out on YouTube. And Frankie, you did a little commentating for Brave before. I think you did one with the UFC at one point in time. Is that something you'd want to do in the future for the UFC? Because they have a lot of these guys on that broadcast, and I feel like somebody like you who's been through everything in this game would be a good addition.
Yeah, I've done analyst work with the UFC, and I've done the commentary with Brave. Yeah, I could see myself, dipping, dabbling into it again. I don't know about commentating for the UFC, but definitely fight analyst work. Commentating, that takes a special breed to do that. I don't know if I'm quite ready for something like that.
We'd love to see it. And Frankie, I just want to talk about your music choice. Every time you came out to the Notorious B.I.G., of course, Brooklyn represent. I know you're not from Brooklyn, but still up north guy. Was hip hop something you grew up listening to?
Yeah, absolutely. A big part of my youth, was hip hop music for sure. I'm into a lot of music, but
Yeah.
probably my youth was mostly hip hop.
And any specific artist that you always loved growing up?
Well, obviously, Big. Big
Yeah.
was a big impact on me. But Jay-Z is another guy. I listen to quite a bit.
Jay-Z,
The
that's a
East Coast rappers is definitely who I kind of favored a little bit. Growing up.
absolutely. Yeah, Jay-Z's one of my favorite rappers. I'm a Brooklyn boy, so always got to
Yeah.
go for some of the best lyricists out there. And Frankie, last question here, and of course, thank you so much for the time, and I appreciate it big time, and would love to do this again, of course. But what has Renzo Gracie meant to you in your life? Because I know that's somebody who's been very close to you in your, of course, your MMA career and your martial art career.
Yeah, Henzo's just a special guy. If you met Henzo, you understand what I mean. And he's touches everybody in the room. He comes in the room, he affects everybody in the room. It's hard to explain unless you meet him. But once you meet him, you understand what type of person he is. And just to share, a little bit of heritage with Henzo Gracie it's an honor every time I get to be around a guy.
Absolutely, Frankie. And anything you want to tell the fans out there when you're coming back and what you want to do when you come back?
Yeah, I'm gonna come back, get back in there, mix it up. I want to fight someone good because that's what I do. I fight good opponents, and I go in there and make a statement, and get back on track.
Absolutely, Frankie. And we can't wait to see you back in there in that UFC octagon. Hopefully, you get something coming back on later on this year. But thank you for being on the show, Frankie. Of course, we'll talk to you again.
Absolutely, Darnell. Thanks, brother. Take care.
Absolutely. Mystic Hour, we're gone. Boom.